yet again some more information out of Social Security, and they're changing the rules again. Yes, it is true. They are changing the rules on this yet again, and they are now talking about April 14th. So let me bring you up to speed as far as what's going on here, what they just announced just moments ago, and what this new April 14th deadline and timeline is that they're now announcing here. Wow, I mean, seriously, this is nuts what's going on here. I know I say that all the time, but honestly, I'm not really sure what else to say about it. But I mean, they're just changing so many things right now. No wonder why there is so much massive confusion around everything right now. So let me talk you through the details about this. Again, this was just released. The Social Security Commissioner was out. Lee Dudek, he was talking about this. The press release hit the wire, which, by the way, in just a couple minutes here, when I get into the chat box to answer your questions, I will put the link for the press release right there into the chat so you can see it yourself, the press release. So give me a few minutes here to discuss what's going on. And again, I'll give you that link. And by the way, if you're watching this video and you just want to know where the link is, when I'm done with this live stream, again, I don't know how long that's going to be. When I'm done with the live stream, I'll put the link for the press release into the description of the video as well, so you can find it there. Okay. All right. Oh, you ready for this? Yeah, exactly. All right. So where to even start? There's so many different moving parts here. Okay, so remember about a week and a half ago or so, we had the press release and the announcement out of the Social Security Administration where they were going to be spending about 2 weeks training frontline workers about the new changes that they were implementing as far as changing direct deposit information, and basically people need to going into the office, as in a Social Security field office, to prove their identity in order to start benefits or change direct deposit information. Okay, remember that whole situation? I've talked about it many times in live streams. I had a video out yesterday morning where I was talking about the whole direct deposit drama situation. Okay, remember all that? Well, guess what? Today is whatever today is, whatever the date is. I don't know, the 26th. Yeah, the 26th, okay? So we have just a handful of days here between now and the 31st, obviously the end of the month, which is Monday of next week here, okay, as I host this live stream right now. And then as soon as we roll into April, all of those changes were going to be going into effect. However, I think Social Security noticed that this was causing a ton of drama, a ton of confusion, and they've listened, okay? So they just released this press release where they're pushing it out now, okay? But they've also changed the rules. So just stick with me on this. I'm going to break down the details of the rules, again, that were just released by the Social Security Administration in this press release, and I'll explain the details because now this is going to add so much more confusion to this. I have a feeling we're going to be here for a while. I hope that's okay. I'm going to talk you through this in as much as detail as I can. Okay, now let's talk through this. Okay, so here's the thing. Remember, it was supposed to be going into effect March 31st, okay? So basically April 1st, it would all be in full swing, okay? However, they're now pushing it out by 2 weeks out until April 14th. April 14th happens to be a Monday. So that's like what? 2.5 weeks from right now as we speak. It's a roughly 2.5 weeks-ish, okay? So anyway, it's all going to be pushed out until April 14th as far as the whole identity proofing, details like that, where someone would need to go to a local field office in order to start benefits if they're not able to prove their identity through their My Social Security account online, and the whole direct deposit situation. Again, if somebody cannot change it on their My Social Security account, they would need to go to a local field office and do it there. Okay, all those details. Okay, you already know all that. We've talked about that in great detail. Basically, they're just pushing that out by 2 weeks, but there's more to it than that, way more to it than that, especially as it pertains to the following groups, okay? Please mark these groups here. SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance Beneficiaries, Medicare beneficiaries and people that are enrolling for Medicare, and SSI, those three groups, okay? I'm going to say them again really quickly. The new rules that they just announced here and the new parameters that they're wrapping around this apply to SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, Medicare beneficiaries, existing beneficiaries and new applicants, as well as SSI, Supplemental Security Income, okay? It's a lot of people. However, well, let me come back to the other part here. Otherwise, I'm just going to add way too much confusion. Okay, I'll come back to that here in a minute. Okay, but anyway, let's talk about SSDI, Medicare, and SSI now, okay? Here is the new announcement and the new rule around this. SSDI, Medicare, and SSI beneficiaries who are applying for benefits do not need to go to a physical field office they can actually still apply over the phone. Okay. Is this going to add some confusion? Yeah, 100% is going to, okay? This is going to get nuts. More nuts than it already is right now. If you think this is confusing, oh boy, get ready because we're adding a whole lot more to this. Okay. I just want to say that again really quickly so we can really hammer this down, okay? SSDI, Medicare and SSI beneficiaries can still, based on the new announcement that just came out today, again, just moments ago, this press release, SSDI, Medicare, and SSI are still allowed to submit applications over the phone, okay? That's what this new press release here. However, the however is Social Security retirement, survivors, spousal, and child benefits, okay? These types of benefits can no longer be applied for over the phone, but rather they would need to be basically identity proven over somebody's My Social Security account or at a physical office. You got all that? Yeah. Oh boy. Wow. This is going to be, why do they have to split it like this? Why can't they just say everybody? It's all or nothing. Why do they have to say like this group of beneficiaries and this group not? I can already see that this is going to be a massive problem. Okay. So anyway, now that's just for benefits. Now, when it comes down to the direct deposit thing, this still goes to the My Social Security account, as in to prove somebody's identity, or a local field office. You cannot do the direct deposit changing over the phone. Again, you got all that? You know what I mean? This is nuts. Okay. So this is what came out of the press release just moments ago. And again, in just a few minutes here, when I get into the chat box to answer your questions, I'm sure there's a ton of them. When I get into the chat box to answer questions, I'll put the link for the press release that just came out of Social Security moments ago. I'll put that into the chat box so you can look at it yourself. And then again, when I'm done with this live stream here as well, I will take that link and I'll put it into the description of this live stream so you can find it there as well. If you're watching the replay or if you want to come back to it, whatever, you can find it there as well, okay? So these are the details, again, that they just released. So basically, SSDI, SSI, Medicare, you're still allowed to basically apply for, get benefits, things like this over the phone. They're still allowing that over the phone. Okay, that's one of the big changes. However, retirement, survivors, spousal, child's benefits, things like this would then, if they are not able to be proven over the through the My Social Security account, you would have to go to a local field office. Okay. Does that make sense? Now I have the thingamabobber. What's it called again? Oh yeah, press release. Sorry. Sometimes there's just so many things to talk about here. I have the press release pulled up my phone here really quickly. I'm going to scan through it really fast here to make sure that I hit on the topics that I wanted to talk about, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And then I'm going to spend some time and get into the chat box. So give me a second here. I'm going to scan through the press release one more time fast here, just to make sure I've got it all for you. And then we will get into the chat and we can talk about this more. I just want to make sure that I had it all for you. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yes. By the way, I just want to say this really quickly. If you have not signed up for a My Social Security account, honestly, this would be the time to do it. Okay. It is not required. You do not need to do it. But if you're ever thinking about signing up for a Social Security account on the Social Security website, now would certainly be the time. And again, I don't mean like right now today. I just simply mean like right now being, I don't know, in the next month and a half, 2 months or so. If you can sign up now, like in the next, handful of months here or, relatively soonish, probably be a pretty good idea. Just saying, with all these changes coming in, it may save you a trip to a local office, which honestly would be a nightmare for a lot of people. Okay. Anyway, let me just try to scan through this report here really quickly again. Yep, exactly. Okay, so he's saying right here in the press release, SSDI, Medicare, and SSI would be exempt from the whole going into the office type of thing. Okay, that just confirming that. I've said that a few times now, just confirming it. Just saw it here in the press release again. Again, still scanning. So give me another second here. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. So again, it just says it right here. It reiterates again in the press release, those people who receive SSDI, Medicare, and SSI who are not able to basically do it through their My Social Security account or prove through there, they can do it completely over the phone. Honestly, that's kind of nice. That's really nice for a lot of people. Yeah. Yep, and those individuals who cannot, again, I'm just kind of paraphrasing the press release here. Again, just want to make sure that I've got it all for you. Again, it says right here, those who cannot prove their identity through their My Social Security account for Social Security retirement, survivors, spousal, child's benefits would then need to visit a local field office to prove their identity at that point. Okay. Yep. Yep, and exactly. They're reiterating again here about the direct deposits. Those individuals who cannot prove their identity through the My Social Security account would then need to visit a local field office to change their direct deposit information there. So, yeah, this is going to be massively confusing. Yes. Yep. Okay. Okay. Yep. I got down to the bottom. Okay. All right. So yes, I hit on everything here. I've covered it a couple times here. If you're just joining right now, first off, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you. Again, wow, another nuts week upon us. And here we go. Okay, so if you're just jumping on right now, let me recap really quickly here, and then we'll get into the chat box, and I'll answer your questions on this, and I'll put the link for the press release down below so you can see it yourself, okay? But anyway, really quick recap here. So basically about a little over a week ago, we got the announcement out of Social Security where they said everybody who's applying for new benefits or going to change direct deposit information, you can't do that over the phone anymore, but rather you need to do it through your My Social Security account. As in other words, prove your identity. And anything in regards to direct deposit information would need to be, again, through your My Social Security account, which is secure on the Social Security website, or you need to visit a local field office, okay? Now, that's what they said a little over a week ago in the press release. Now, they just came out today because that was all supposed to be going into effect as of March 31st, so in just a handful of days here. Now, they came out in a press release just moments before I started this live stream here, and they said, hey, well, we're actually, I'm going to push this out by 2 weeks, out until April 14th. Okay, April 14th. It's a Monday, about 2.5 weeks from right now as I host this live stream. So they're pushing it out until then, but then they're also changing the rules for some beneficiary. Okay, so there's this bifurcation in the beneficiary type, being SSDI, Medicare, and SSI can still do it 100% over the phone with the exception of direct deposit. Meanwhile, Social Security retirement, survivors, spousal, and child's benefits would then need to visit a Social Security field office if it cannot be done through your My Social Security account. There you go. Okay, that's a real quick recap and what's going on here. This is going to cause an absolute mess. Okay, I'm calling it right now. I don't want it to. I really don't want this to happen, but this is going to cause an absolute disaster of a mess. Yeah. Okay. Let me grab the link for this. Where is it? Copy. Here we go. Okay. I'm grabbing the link for the press release right now. I'm going to make my way into the chat box on the live stream here. And I will put the link for the press release right there. And you can look at it. Literally words right out of Social Security. They just released it moments before I started this live stream. And yeah, I'll answer questions for you. All right, give me a minute to get into the chat here. It takes me a minute to load this whole thing up. I apologize, but if you have comments, if you're joining live right now, thank you so much for being here. I truly do appreciate it. Leave your comments down below. I'll do my best to answer as many as I possibly can here. Okay. Hang on. Got to pull this up. Okay, live stream. Here we go. Turn this up. Okay, coming. Oh, what happened? What happened? I think I put it in there. Maybe I didn't. Hang on a second. Let me try it again. I apologize. I'm super slow. I know that. I'm sorry about this. I'm just super slow at this. Okay, here we go. There it is again. I think I put it in once, but I just put it in for sure again. Okay, so you see down in the chat on the live stream here, I have the link. Okay, that is the link for the press release out of Social Security, literally moments before I started this live stream. The press release that came out this afternoon, some remarks out of the acting commissioner, Lee Dudek, as far as this change, as far as what they're implementing. They're pushing it out until April 14th, as far as the implementation of the visiting of field offices and to apply and get benefits. But then again, they're changing the rules for some people, okay? That's the press release. And again, I'll stick it in the chat here again, and just give me a couple minutes. I'll put it in there in the chat again. Let me answer a couple questions here, and then I'll put the link again in case you missed it there. But yes, it should be in the chat right here, right now. Actually, you know what? Oops, what did I do? Oops. Dang, what did I do? Hang on a second. Sorry, I hit a wrong button. Oh man, I'm just so bad at this. This technology stuff. I mean, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Trying to navigate this on the fly. Dorinda Mardelli, I think it is. Dorinda Mardelli. I could be saying your name incorrectly. I apologize about that. I'm sorry about pronouncing names incorrectly. Sorry about that. Exactly. Dorinda, again, you said you spoke with Social Security yesterday, and they said you don't need to do anything unless you get a letter. Correct. Yeah, 100%. I literally made a video about that this afternoon saying, don't call Social Security. Don't go to an office. I'm literally saying that for like 17 minutes in a video this afternoon. I said it over and over. You don't need to call Social Security. You don't need to go to a physical office. You don't need to do anything to get paid for April. I don't know where this is coming from. I have so many people, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of questions that I've seen over the last week. People are reaching out saying, hey, I heard you got a call. I heard I got to go to an office. I heard I need to do something to get my April check. No, you don't. Literally nothing. That's it. Nothing. Literally nothing. Okay. So don't call Social Security. There's literally no reason to call Social Security. There's no reason to go to a physical field office. Okay. I've explained very clearly before in other videos the reasons why you would need to go to a physical office or call them. But no, you do not need to do anything whatsoever. Correct. Yeah, Kevin Gallagher, I see you there. Russell, I see you there as well. Thank you. Nice. Flex. Hey, Flex. Nice to see you as well. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Susan Cox is saying, I've been on Social Security since 2020. Do I need to do anything? I would say probably not. No. Susan Cox, you're probably fine. Yeah. And again, the vast majority of people are totally fine. Vast majority of people will need to do absolutely nothing. Yep. Roberto, you're talking about direct deposit. Do you need to go in and do it again? No, absolutely not. Okay. No, absolutely not. If I'm saying this in such a way that doesn't make sense, please, someone correct me. Tell me like how I can say this better that has more emphasis, more conviction behind it. Please, somebody tell me how to say this better in such a way. I don't know how else to say this, but no, you absolutely do not need to do anything. If you are already set up on Social Security, if you're already getting Social Security benefits, if you already have Direct Express or direct deposit or something like that, you do not need to do anything whatsoever. Okay. Nothing. Frederick. Okay. Frederick is asking, is this for new retirement benefits? Yes, it actually is. Okay. Frederick, new retirement benefits. The answer is yes on that. Okay. Now, as of right now, the old rules are still in place. However, they've pushed the timeline out until April 14th. Okay. After April 14th, it's going to be in full force. In other words, what I mean by that, or what I should say is on April 14th, it'll be in full force. What I mean by that is, as a Social Security retiree getting your benefits, the only way you can do it now Well, okay, I shouldn't say right now, but April 14th or after will be basically by proving your identity through your My Social Security account. If you don't have a My Social Security account, you may want to sign up. It's totally free on the Social Security website. If you do not do that, then if you cannot prove your identity through those means, you would have to go into a physical field office and meet with somebody and whip out your ID and be like, here, look, it's really me, Frederick, right? So that's the situation, okay? Yes, retirement is on the list of those individuals that would have to go to a physical office if they cannot prove their identity through the My Social Security account. Good question, Frederick. Yeah, Ryan Wright. Yeah, exactly. That would be an interesting letter. But yeah, seriously, that 617 that I was talking about in the last video, again, does anybody really realize that? I mean, if you run the numbers on it and look at all the statistics, that's what it comes down to. That's nuts. That's a lot of money. And by the way, that's just on average. Obviously, some would be more, some would be less. But yeah, I talked about the details in that last video earlier this afternoon. Yeah, Kenny Hutchins, exactly. Oh, let me put that link in again before it goes away. Hang on. Okay, here we go. Down in the chat again, I just put the link for the press release from Social Security this afternoon. There it is again. If you want to see the press release out of Social Security, literally moments before I started this live stream, I just put the link for the press release. You can read it yourself, and that's what I'm talking about here in this video, okay? There's a lot of moving parts around all this. I totally understand that. And they keep changing it too. That's what's making this so confusing, is they keep changing it. They just changed this again. They changed a bunch of parameters around this. Christina Garcia, what about all of us that are on SSI and SSDI? Oh my, there's a lot to that. Can you be more specific, please? Like exactly what you want to know, Christina Garcia, about that? Because I mean, I could sit here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, 5 hours talking about all the different parameters around SSDI and SSI. Yeah, please be more specific as far as what you're looking for. Yeah, exactly. Karen Decker, good point. If somebody hacked into your account, you may want to change your direct deposit information. Good point. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, Transplant Warrior. Hey, I like the name there. That's awesome. Yeah, you're talking about SSI and the Doge dividend. Yeah, let's open up that can of worms in a whole nother video. Oh, this is going to be a super long live stream if we open that one. But yeah, you're right with what you're saying there. Exactly. Robert Gray, you're asking about how do you get your back pay for a year? You're legally blind. Looks like you were recently awarded benefits. Have you called Social Security? I would call Social Security. Seriously, just call Social Security. Ask them, hey, what's going on? I was recently awarded benefits. You know, you should have that back pay coming. Yep. Again, I would call Social Security. Again, they would be able to look at your personal situation and see what's going on there. They should be able to advise you with that. Dorinda. Yeah, I think that's what your name is. Again, I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. You're saying, yes, just say new applicants. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that works. Yep, I can say that. Elster L is saying, are they giving out $5,000? Not right now. Let's open up that can of worms in a separate video, please. Okay, that's going to be way too much for this video. There's already way too much confusion around this. Let's open up that one in a separate one, but no, not right now. Bruce is asking, is someone getting an increase? Not right now. Some people are in April, but it's a very small percentage of beneficiaries. 3.2 million Social Security beneficiaries are getting a raise in April. It's a very small percentage of people. Most people will not get a raise in April. I'm just saying some will, most won't, okay? Yes, Toria Everhart, I think it is. Toria Everhart, you're saying, will letters go out? Will they be sending letters? Yeah, they will be sending some letters for some people in some instances, okay? Again, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole too far in this video just because, oh man, it would just be absolutely nuts. But I sent out a video yesterday, okay? Yesterday afternoon, I put out a video talking about letters going out from Social Security. So Toria Everhart, please watch that video from yesterday afternoon. I'm talking about letters that Social Security is sending out. Please watch that video. That should be able to answer it as far as what's going on. But as far as this new press release that just came out of Social Security today, like literally moments before I started the live stream here, no, they're not sending out letters on this, but they are sending out letters to other beneficiaries for other reasons. Yeah, check out that video from earlier, yesterday, I should say. Yeah, yesterday afternoon, Toria Everhart. Yep, that should help you out. B is asking date for SSI payments. Friday? No, not Friday. Tuesday. SSI benefits will be going out. Sheila Forrest, thank you so much for the nice message. Really appreciate that. Yeah, you're very welcome. I'm glad to hear that these videos are helpful. I know it's massively confusing right now. Thanks for being here, Sheila. Appreciate you. Clara Lee, is that what it is? Clara Lee. You're asking about appointments. Yeah, if you need to make an appointment with a local field office, make an appointment. I mean, seriously, make an appointment. Don't just walk in, make an appointment about that. But only do that if you actually need to go there for a reason. You don't need to go any other reason, okay? Again, in that video that I was out this afternoon, actually it was a live stream. I was out in this live stream this afternoon and I was talking about that. I've had a number of people reaching out saying, I heard we need to go to a local field office to get our April checks. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. You do not need to do that. So unless you have a real practical reason for why you need to go to a field office, don't just show up there and just make an appointment. There's really no reason to at all. Yep. Yeah, Patricia Bess. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks so much for the nice message. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here, Patricia. Nice to see you. Yeah, Darlene Sawyer. Darlene Sawyer, I see you there. Thanks for joining us, Darlene. Nice to have you. Thanks for being here. Sam, I am. When is the next vote on no tax on tips? That's probably going to be included in the reconciliation bill. That's going to be a little while here. April. Okay, watch April. April's going to be the month most likely. Yes. Transplant warrior. Exactly. You're talking about the letter? Yeah. Transplant warrior. Again, I put that video out yesterday afternoon. It's titled something like Social Security letters, something like that. It's from yesterday afternoon. Please watch that video, Transplant Warrior. Yes, talking about the letters that Social Security is sending out. And yeah, good stuff. I put the press release from Social Security in the video there. So as I'm talking, I popped up the press release on the screen and you can see exactly what they're talking about. Yep. Check that out from yesterday. Again, Social Security letters, title something like that. You'll see it. Just scroll back a couple videos. You'll see it there. Juanita Mosley talking about the marriage penalty. No, haven't seen anything about the marriage penalty in probably 2 months or so, give or take a little bit. No, haven't seen anything about that. I will keep you posted if I see anything about the marriage penalty. Yeah, just stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on that. Yeah, Robert Gray, I see you there. Thanks for joining, Robert Gray. Michelle is saying, I've been on SSI since 1983. Do I need to do anything? I don't know for your exact situation. I had some people ask me this last night in the live stream as well. I just want to clarify this. Some of the actions that are needed for some beneficiaries have nothing to do with how long somebody's been getting benefits. You could be getting benefits, like in this case, Michelle's been getting benefits since 1983. That's 42 years ago, right? 42 years Michelle's been getting SSI benefits. That's a very long time. My point is, the years that you've been receiving benefits doesn't have anything to do with potential actions from a beneficiary, okay? So some beneficiaries may need to take actions if they get an overpayment letter. That's a whole nother can of worms that I've opened up many times over the last week or so in live streams and in videos. But with this, if you're currently a beneficiary, you should be good. You shouldn't need to really do anything unless, okay, unless you plan on changing direct deposit information, okay? If you're a new applicant, okay? If you're just joining right now, if you're a new applicant for Social Security, Disability, SSDI, Medicare, SSI, Supplemental Security Income, Retirement, Survivor, Spousal, any child's benefits, anything like this, okay? If you're a new applicant, that's where some of these new rules are coming into play, okay? And that's where they have this bifurcation between the two, or I shouldn't say two, between the different types of benefits, okay? So they've categorized it here based on this new press release again that came out today, right before I started this live stream. Here's what they're saying. Based on the new rule and the extension of this timeline here, new applicants, SSDI, Medicare, and SSI can still submit 100% over the phone. However, starting April 14th, new applicants of retirement, survivor, spousal, and child's benefits would need to either prove their identity through their My Social Security account or visit a local field office to prove their identity there through a state ID, a passport, driver's license, whatever it happens to be, something like that in that form, okay? But the easiest and best way to prove someone's identity is honestly right on your My Social Security account, which is 100% free on the Social Security website. If you have not signed up, I've said this a few times over the last, well, I said it earlier in this live stream, but I've said it a few times over the last couple of weeks. If you have any intentions of ever signing up for a My Social Security account, again, 100% free on the Social Security website, now would be the time to do it. You probably want to take on that and just maybe do that. It would serve you, okay? Even if you do not need to use it right now, you never know. Maybe in a month, maybe in 2 months, maybe in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, it would be nice to have that. It may serve you and save you a trip from going to a local field office, to prove your identity. Yeah. Yeah, Susan is saying, appreciate your updates. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks, Susan, for being here. I apologize. I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, but thank you, Susan. I appreciate you. I see your message there. Thank you. Yeah, Susan Cox, you're very welcome as well. Thanks for being here, Susan. Yeah, we got two Susans messaged right after each other. Okay, nice, awesome. Thank you. Sandy Spencer, she said, I just came in. What's going on? I just got done talking about that, and I'm just seeing your message now. So I'm assuming you probably heard that. I'm kind of going into some deeper later messages here. So yeah, I think that you probably heard that. Yeah, Flex, nice. Flex, yeah, I see you again. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Thanks, Flex. Yeah, Regina Brown, again, I'm kind of going through some older messages here. I see it looks like you maybe have just jumped on as well, looking to, understand what's going on here. Just another press release out of Social Security. And again, I just kind of talked through a really quick recap there. Diana Blackwell, yeah, exactly. Thanks for being here, Diana. Appreciate you as well. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Darlene Sawyer, exactly. Thank you so much for the nice message. Exactly. Russell Harris talking about the Social Security Fairness Act. Yeah, I've talked about that many times in the last couple months here. Yes, exactly. Legend Nebula. Yep, exactly. That's true. Yes. Or on the Social Security account, my Social Security account on the Social Security website. Yes, Legend. Yep, perfect. Nice. Kamala Shirey, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good evening or good afternoon, wherever you're at. But yeah, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Bernice Fernandez was on the phone for 3.5 hours. Wow. Did you connect with somebody or did you just hang up after 3.5 hours, right? Wow. Lillian, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the nice message. That's very kind of you. Thanks, Lillian. Appreciate that. Anthony, I see you there as well. Dorinda Mardelli, again, I apologize about the name. Yeah, I see you there as well. Thank you so much for being here. Nice to see you. John D. Mateo, hey, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Kenny Hutchison saying, do I need to go to a field office? Probably not. Probably not. I don't know your exact situation, but I'm going to say probably not. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, Kevin Gallagher, I see you there as well. Okay, I'm going to go back down to the bottom of the chat here. Yeah. James Lara, yeah, I wish that were true, James Lara. Unfortunately, we're off by a lot of years. Yeah, unfortunately. So, but yeah, thanks, James Lara. I really wish that were true. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, 100% true. Flex is saying it's best to enroll in a My Social Security account. I 100% agree with that. Right now is certainly the time. Good point, Flex. Yes. If you're ever thinking about applying, or I shouldn't even say applying, signing up for, because it's free. You don't have to apply. You just sign up for a My Social Security account on the Social Security website. Now would certainly be the time to do that. Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. SS Joseph. Sorry, I'm probably saying that wrong. SS Joseph. Hey, I see you there. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Thank you for the nice message. Thank you. Wow. Alicia Nelson sat on hold for 7 hours. Last time you had to call Social Security. That's nuts. That's nuts. That's all day. Wow. I mean, you know, most of the day. That's a long time. Lewis Mays, when he becomes rich, is going to share it with all of us. Thank you, Lewis Mays, please. Whatever you've got to do. Yes, please. That'd be awesome. That'd be really cool. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for thinking of us. Yeah, thank you. Danielle is wondering what's going on. Okay, let's do a quick recap here. I know a lot of people are probably coming on wondering what's going on. You're just talking about nonsense in the chat. Okay, here's the thing. How I structure the live streams is I talk about the content in the first 10 minutes or whatever, and then I get into the chat and answer questions. But anyway, really quick recap if you're just joining right now, which is this. Social Security released another press release today, and they basically are pushing out the rule that was going into effect as of March 31st. They announced this about a week and a half, a little over a week ago. Last week, they came out in a press release and released this rule that was going to be going into effect as of March 31st. In other words, somebody that wants to change direct deposit information or who wants to apply for benefits who cannot do that information or prove their identity through their My Social Security account would then need to go into a field office, okay? This was all encompassing across all beneficiaries, okay? As of about a week and a couple days ago when the press release came out, and that was going to be going into effect next week on the 31st, okay? However, the rules changed. Just moments ago, before I started this live stream here, Social Security came out with another press release and changed the parameters again, okay? So they're adding a ton of confusion around all of these different releases and everything going on right now. But here's what happened. So the release that they came out with a little over a week ago, they changed that one, okay? Now, the press release that just came out this afternoon states the following. New applicants, okay, of SSDI, Medicare, and SSI do not need to go to a physical field office, but rather can do 100% of this over the phone. New applicants, SSDI, SSI, and Medicare beneficiaries can complete their applications 100% over the phone, do not need to go to a physical field office in order to do that. However, on the flip side, new applicants of retirement, survivors, spousal, child's benefits would need to go to a physical field office if they cannot prove their identity through their My Social Security account. They would then need to go to a physical field office to prove their identity there and basically get their benefits started, okay? They cannot. That group that I mentioned, the second grouping there, retirement, survivors, spousal, child's benefits, they cannot prove their identity over the phone, okay? That cannot be done. The only ways that it can be done now is through your My Social Security account or by going to a physical field office. Now, when it comes down to the direct deposit drama, that whole thing still applies to everybody. Everybody must prove their identity to change their direct deposit information through their My Social Security account, or option 2 would be go to a physical field office. Caught all that? Yeah, you know what I mean? That's a lot of confusion right there. So there's like 3 different groupings that I just mentioned, and they all kind of have a different set of rules. Okay, this is the announcement that just came out of Social Security again this afternoon. So trying to break it down, trying to explain all this, and a lot of this keeps changing, which is why it continues to be very confusing, right? Yes. Emma Basket is saying, just come on. I don't know what that's all about, but okay, maybe I was talking too slow. Sorry. James Lara, of course I remember you, James Lara. Yes, exactly, James Lara. Yes, I remember you. Yeah. Joseph Durkin is saying, so that means everybody on SSDI gets a raise. No, no, absolutely not. No. Okay. If you're an SSDI beneficiary looking for a raise, that's not happening. No. So Joseph Durkin, that's not the case whatsoever. Okay. So I want to make that very clear. I don't want anybody getting their hopes up. That is not the case. Karen, okay. Okay, Karen, you receive SSDI for over 10 years. And you're asking, by the way, Karen, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. I apologize. But you're saying you receive SSDI for over 10 years. How do you know that your identity has been proven through your Social Security account, your My Social Security account? My response to that would be, you don't need to do anything. Okay, Karen, you don't need to do anything. Why? You're already getting benefits. They've already proven your identity. You're good. The only way that you would need to prove your identity is if you decide to change your direct deposit information. So if you decide to get a new bank account and you want to change where your checks go, your deposits every single month, that's when you would need to prove your identity. But otherwise, Karen, if you've been receiving benefits for 10 years, all is good. You don't need to do anything, literally nothing whatsoever. Sit back, relax, and just watch the checks roll in, right? If it were only that, that frequent and easy. But yeah, that's the situation, Karen. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Emilio Santano. Hey, nice to see you as well. Yeah, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Nice. Joni Filia, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate the nice message, and nice to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Emilio Santano. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks, my friend. Nice to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Bobby Potter. Yeah, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Julie Ann is saying, how and where do I sign up at? Can you please be more specific about that? Okay, please be more specific about what it is you want to sign up for, things like that. Yes. Yeah, B, you're saying you normally get yours on the 28th or 29th if you get deposits. Yeah, maybe it shows pending a couple days early, but yeah, in this case, because April 1st is not a holiday, it's not a weekend, Tuesday is the first that it typically would be arriving. Exactly. Katie, you're talking about SSI sending checks early. Exactly. Thank you for that clarification. Yes, that's 100% true. Only if it's a weekend or a holiday. True. Yes. Good job, Katie. Thank you. Brian, is it Learman? Brian Learman, I think it is. Hey, Brian, nice to see you there. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate you. Yeah, you're saying I'm 100% blind. That's great, Brian. Well, sorry, Brian. I'm not saying that's like great. You're blind, but no, Brian, sorry. I'm in the same category as you, Brian. Blind. Okay. I think you probably know that by now, but yeah, thank you so much for being here, Brian. I really appreciate you. You probably hear my voiceover talking in the mic, right? Yeah, that's how I read these messages. Yeah, Flex. I see you there as well. Thanks, Flex. Yeah, Gamilio Santano as well. Thank you so much for being here again. Appreciate you. Tulian, I think it is. Tulian is saying, I get my check on the 3rd. Will I still get it on the 3rd? No change there whatsoever. Okay, so if you typically get paid on the 3rd, you should still get paid on the 3rd. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Mr. Bill Shire, is that what it is? Yeah, Bill Shire. Awesome. Thanks for being here, Bill Shire. Yeah, Denise M. Yeah, thanks so much for being here, Denise M. Nice to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Denise, say hi to your sister for me. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Howard Hopsman is saying, how long are you going to get this money? Please, Howard, can you please elaborate on that? Kind of curious what you're referring to. Please, Howard, elaborate if you can. Thank you. Yep. No, Legend Nebula. Again, I'm getting into some older messages here. Sorry, I'm just kind of going up on the chat right here. But Legend Nebula is asking, do I need to go into a field office to prove my identity? If you're already receiving benefits, the answer is no, unless you change your direct deposit information. And you can't do it through the Social Security account, your My Social Security account. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Kenny Hutchins. Yeah, you're very welcome. Hey, no need to apologize. Thank you, Kenny. Nice to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Carrie Cripps, is it? Carrie Cripps. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here, Carrie. Nice to have you. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Frank Glover talking about the multiple different dates in which checks go out. Yeah, that's just how they do it. Yep, they send out checks multiple times a month. That's just how they do. Yeah, Linda Provencher. Yeah, exactly. Linda, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you as well. Always so nice to see you, Linda. Thanks for being here. Yep, thank you. Dark Angel, you're asking about the QMB. Yeah, that's still a thing. Let me make a dedicated video talking about that. But yeah, that is still a thing. Okay, so not everybody, but yeah, we can talk about that in a separate video. That's a whole nother topic. Yeah. Larry Holland is asking, is Medicaid gone? No, Medicaid hasn't been touched. Medicaid has not been touched. With all the drama and everything we've seen about Medicaid, no, they have not touched Medicaid as of right now. Okay, so no, totally fine, has not been touched at all. Okay, Christina Garcia. Yeah, Christina Garcia, you say that you have a representative payee and the rep payee had to go into the field office to confirm identity in order to receive those checks on your behalf. Yeah, okay. Terry Ravato, is that what it is? Terry Ravato. Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I see your comment there, but I don't see your comment. You're saying, hey, can you please answer my question? I wish I could. I don't see your comment yet. I haven't gotten there yet. So Terry, I apologize. Get my way up the comment section, doing my best. Yeah, Gamilio Santano, thank you once again. You're very kind. Christina Mum, is that what it is? Sounds like you're on SSI. Will your checks be changing? No, not right now. Okay, you're good. You're totally fine. No, your checks will not be changing whatsoever as an SSI beneficiary. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Yeah, Scott Guy, you're very welcome. Thanks, Scott Guy. I really appreciate it. Very nice message. Thank you, Scott. Yes. Okay, so I saw another message. I think it was from Dark Angel, who is saying, so if you're already receiving benefits, you don't need to do anything. Pretty much, yes. If you're already receiving benefits, if you've been getting benefits for a week, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, or 40 some odd years, like Michelle earlier that we were talking about, if you've been getting benefits for however long, if you're already getting benefits, you pretty much don't need to do anything. You pretty much don't need to do anything, unless the only caveat to that would be is if you want to change your direct deposit information, then that would be changing. In other words, you would have to confirm your identity through the My Social Security account, or potentially go to a field office in order to prove your identity there if you cannot do it through your My Social Security account. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, Beverly Jones, I see you there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Please say hi to your husband for me. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, Junior Martinez, thank you for being here. Appreciate you as well. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, Scott Niles, I see you there as well. Thank you, Scott. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us, and good afternoon. Yeah, James Lara, thank you so much, James Lara. I really appreciate that. James is saying other channels out there are making things up. That's why you really like this channel, because I'm giving it to you straight every single day, spending time with you in these live streams, and bringing you honest, accurate, reliable, transparent information every single day in these videos. Again, thank you so much, James. I really appreciate that. Yes, every day. There's a lot of things going on right now. It's a very, very confusing and uncertain time. Terry Bravado, is that what it is? Terry Bravado, you said that you're 64 right now, and you've been on SSDI benefits for, it looks like, quite a few years. I didn't see how many years exactly, but you're asking if you need to go to a field office, and will they change you to retirement benefits? They will change you to retirement benefits automatically. You don't need to do anything at your full retirement age, okay? So SSDI beneficiaries will be automatically switched to retirement benefits at your full retirement age, okay? So you're good there. You do not need to do anything. It's automatic. That's the thing. So no, Terry, to answer your question, you do not need to do anything whatsoever, okay? You're already receiving benefits. You're good. Yep. Quintelia Robinson, is that what it is? Hey, Quintelia, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Thank you so much for being here. Nice to see you as always. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining. Yeah, again, Darlene Sawyer, thank you so much for the nice message. Yep. Yeah, Lewis Mays, I see you there as well. Okay. Sweet Apple is asking, I think you're asking, will it go to my bank account or by mail? Can you clarify what you're asking about, what's going to you? If you're talking about your regular monthly benefit, again, Social Security retirement, SSDI, survivor, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, you'll get it however you typically get your payment. That's just how you'll get it. Yeah. So if that's what you're talking about, yep, you're good. Joan Hall, Joan Hall, is that what it is? Sorry, I could be saying that wrong. Joanne, maybe that's what it is. Joanne Hall. There, I see your comment. Thank you so much. Again, if I'm saying your name incorrectly, I apologize. Joanne Hall, you're asking about what's going on April 15th. Let me recap this. We've been talking about this for a while. I've recapped it a few times, but let me just say it again really quickly in case you're just jumping on right now. You kind of have an idea what's going on. And again, I talked about this in great detail at the beginning of the live stream here. If you're just jumping on right now, you can always scroll the live stream back, watch from the very beginning. You only need to watch like the first 10 minutes. Honestly, you don't need to watch the rest of it. That's it, where all the information is. Okay. But anyway, a little over a week ago, Social Security was out with a press release, and they said that they were going to be spending about 2 weeks basically training frontline workers to enact a new provision, which was basically identity proofing through the My Social Security account for new applicants, or when by going into a local field office. Okay, now that was a little over a week ago when they did that, and that was for all beneficiaries, all exclusively or all inclusively. Is that the right word? All inclusively across the entire beneficiary types. Okay. However, the press release that came out this afternoon has now changed it a little bit. Okay, so here's what it comes down to. The new rule is this: it's not going into effect next Monday, the 31st of March, but rather it's going to be going into effect as of April 14th. So they're pushing it out by 2 weeks, but they're also changing the beneficiary types. Okay, the following beneficiaries for new applicants can still do it 100% over the phone: SSDI, SSI, and Medicare. Again, let me say that again: SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance Beneficiaries, Medicare, and SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Those three can still be done 100% over the phone. However, the following would need to do it either in a local Social Security field office or through their My Social Security account. The following includes retirement, survivors, spousal, and child's benefits. Okay, again, retirement, survivors, spousal, child's benefits. Any of these new applicants for those groups would need to prove their identity and basically complete the application process in one of two ways: by going onto their My Social Security account and proving their identity there, or by going into a local field office. Okay, that's the new change that we have here. That was announced by Social Security today. Okay, so they're changing the rule on this a little bit. And again, they're pushing it out by 2 weeks out to April 14th. Does that help? I hope that helps a little bit. Okay, let's leave it there. Okay, I can jump back on to more live streams. I saw some guy in the comments section mocking me about making videos. You know what? I'll make as many videos as I want every day. You know what? I'll make 20 videos a day if I want to. I can do that. It's okay. No problem whatsoever. My point is, I want to help you as much as I possibly can. Here's the thing: I'm sitting here hours and hours and hours every single day talking through the details about this. It's massively confusing. There's a ton of uncertainty around this. I'm trying to help you navigate this. Okay. Anyway, just want to do what I can to help you through this. But yeah, please leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below in the comment section. If you need me to come back on another live stream, I can certainly do that. No problem whatsoever. I can come back in 12 minutes if you need me to and talk through all of this again if you want me to. I'm probably not going to. I'm just being real with you, but I can. Doesn't matter to me whatsoever. I can certainly do that. Otherwise, let me say this much. When this live stream is done here, okay, when I wrap this live stream up, I will take the press release that was released on Social Security today. I will, anyway, sorry, my phone just started talking. I will take the link for the press release and I'll put it into the description of this video. Okay, so just give me like 15-ish minutes after this live stream is completed, and I will put the link for the press release down below in the description, and you can find it there. If you want to read it right off the Social Security website, you can see the press release and exactly what the commissioner said today with these new rules that were announced. Okay. Other than that, please stay tuned. Here we are, Wednesday. I guarantee you there's going to be more coming out this week. I 100% guarantee it. Okay. I will continue to keep you posted with any of these further details on this, and I will let you know anything that is going on right now. Also, if you caught the live stream from last night, there were multiple people in the live stream from last night that have called Chapter with all of their Medicare needs. Again, you see the phone number right there on your screen. The guys are still on standby right now. They're still working. Why? Because they're like me. They want to help you out as much as they possibly can, and they will do it 100% for free. So if you have any questions, if you need any help on Medicare, it could be Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplements, Medigap Plans, Medicare Part D, initial enrollment into Medicare, whatever it happens to be. These guys are absolute experts, and it's 100% for free for you to have them, the expert on your team, looking through your personal situation to find you the best plan with the best coverages and the best pricing for you and your personal needs. So you can see the doctors you want, the providers you want to go to, the clinics you want to be going to, the offices, the prescription needs that you have, if you have any at all. They will look through all the thousands and thousands of plans across the entire country, find you the best plan for you in your local area, and they'll present that to you. Again, 100% for free. In fact, last night, multiple people were in the live stream talking about the savings they were getting. One person in particular, Anna Ortiz, shared her story. She called. Her husband was able to change his plan to a $0 premium plan through calling the guys at Chapter with what they found for him. He's saving nearly $100 per month, $1,200 a year by simply making a 15-minute phone call and having them, the expert, to do all the work. He got a better plan, better coverages. He got a $0 premium plan He's saving the extra $100 a month, or roughly $100 a month, that's going back into his check that he gets rather than going to an insurance company as a premium. That is real money savings right there, okay? So again, if you want to save some money, I mean, seriously, they're saving a boatload of you here in this community, a ton of money. There's been over 1,000 of you here in this community that have already called them and saving a ton of money. Like in this example that I literally just shared with you, I know a bunch of you here in the community right now that are joining on this live stream. We're in the live stream last night and we were talking about it. She was sharing the story, and that's literally the savings that she found, which is absolutely incredible. That's a real money savings. And again, it's free for them to look through the personal situation, find you the best plan, which, by the way, did you realize about 65% of the plans out there are $0 premium plans? $0 premium. Are you paying a premium right now for your plan? A lot of people are. You could possibly be getting better coverages and a better plan with a $0 premium. Yeah, I mean, would you want an expert to look through the details like that and tell you what's available to you so you can get all the coverages you need and pay nothing and keep that extra money rather than going to an insurance company? Not sure about you. That sounds interesting to me, right? Yes, very interested in that. So anyway, phone number's there on your screen. Again, give them a call, take a picture, take a screenshot, write the phone number down, and they'll go to work on your behalf. They'll listen to your needs. They'll help you out as much as you can. And again, I really want to emphasize it's free, 100% for free for them to do all of that. I love that having an expert on my team that I can have somebody else help me with the things that I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know everything about insurance. I mean, here's the thing. I call insurance agents sometimes too. I need insurance quotes on renter's insurance, auto insurance, things like that. I don't drive, but my wife drives, right? What's it going to cost, right? I don't know all the details about all that stuff. When it comes down to those insurance policies, I call an expert and say, here, do the shopping for me. Tell me what you find. Save me as much money as you can, right? Nothing wrong with that. We have to shop our plans, and it's a good idea to review those plans every year. Anyway, let's leave it at that for now. Again, if you're just jumping on right now, the best thing I would say is rewind the live stream back to the very beginning. Watch the first like 10 minutes, maybe. That's all you need to watch. And there's a lot of great details there. The new press release that just came out of Social Security today, they're changing the rules. I can certainly jump on another live stream, no problem whatsoever. Let me know what you need from me. When this live stream goes up, again, watch for the press release down below in the description. I'll put the link for it there. Otherwise, leave your comments. I will read those, as many as I possibly can. And I'll continue to do whatever I possibly can to help you through this. Okay. We're doing this live stream a little bit differently. So I'm going to have my wife come in and help me turn this off. I think many of you know this about me. I'm blind. I don't know where the off button is. Okay. So I'm just going to be real with you. Okay. So anyway, hey, Corey, if you're watching right now, please come and help me out. If she's not, I'm going to have to text her, and it might get kind of awkward. So we're just going to wait a minute for her to come in. And let me go through some more comments here, some more questions really quickly while I wait for her. And then we'll wrap this up. And again, I will certainly talk about this in greater detail again in another video. Just let me know what you need. I'm here to help you through this. Sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. It's something Norman, J something Norman. I apologize. I'm super bad at pronouncing names for whatever reason. But thank you so much for the nice message. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, thank you for your continued support. That's very kind of you. Yeah, Darlene Sawyer. Thank you so much again. You're still here. Thank you, Darlene. I really appreciate you as well. Hope you're doing well. James Lara, you're funny. James Lara, you're funny. Yeah. Flex, awesome. Flex, nice to see you as well. Thank you so much for being here as well. Hope you're having a nice evening. Thanks, Flex. You're awesome. Cindy Goo, I think that's what your last name is. Sorry. You're saying, show us where it says this. What part? I've said like 5,000 things in this video. I'm not sure what part you're talking about. If you're talking about what the Social Security Administration released today in their press release, stay tuned. I will put the link for the press release down below in the description. In fact, let me grab it right now, as long as I'm waiting for Corey. I have it right here. Hang on. Share, copy. Okay, here we go. Here, I'm grabbing the link for you right now. So Cindy's saying, where can you see this? I'm going to put the link for the press release right here in the chat. Okay, so here we go. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. Okay, so if you're still joining right now, we're going to wrap this up here very soon, but I just put down below into the chat box here on the live stream. I just put the link for the press release out of Social Security today. If you want to see exactly what I talked about over and over and over and over again here in this live stream, you can see exactly that in the live stream. In the link that is put there in the chat box. That is the press release out of Social Security today. Okay, so feel free to look at that yourself if you'd like. Yeah, Lillian, you're very welcome. Lillian, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you as well. James Johnson, you're very welcome. Thanks, James Johnson. Nice to have you. Yeah, Flex, you're very welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here, Flex. Rena Roy is out. It is Rena Roy. Hey, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Again, if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, I apologize about that, but thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Rena Roy, thank you. Carrie Park, exactly. Thank you so much for being here again. Carrie Park, thank you for joining us. Jesus is your savior. That's the name. What is your visual impairment? Mine is retinitis pigmentosa. Retinitis pigmentosa is what it is. Yes, I was diagnosed when I was 15. I think it was on my 15th birthday. Yeah, 15th birthday. Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, so I'm going to put the, by the way, hey, Corey, if you're watching this, hey, you want to come up here and help this out? Yeah, so Corey, she may not be listening, so I'll have to text her to help me out turn this thing off. But yeah, Corey, if you're watching, please help. Okay, anyway, I'm going to put the link for the press release here. Again. Okay, down below in the chat, again, I just put the press release, the link for the press release down below in the chat one more time for you there. There you go. You can check that out. Again, that just came out of Social Security this afternoon, and they changed the rules on it as well as pushed out the timeline from the 31st out until the 14th. And yeah, this is going to cause more confusion. Yeah, Pamela Skagg, exactly. Thank you so much for the nice message. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you, Pamela. Nice to see you. Yeah, Teresa Brooks, I see you there as well. Teresa Brooks, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you. Thank you, Teresa. Hope you're doing well. Nice. Darlene Sawyer, that's so kind of you. Thank you, Darlene. That's very, very kind of you. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, Darlene. Yeah. Lillian. Okay. Yeah, Darlene Sawyer, thank you so much. I really appreciate that as well. You also have a nice evening. Thank you, Darlene. Really appreciate it. Still waiting for Corey to come and help me out. I apologize about this. Yeah, I'm not sure what she's doing. Yeah. Okay. Hang on a second here. Hang on. I got to text Corey. I'm trying to get her to come and help me turn this thing up. She's obviously not listening. Please come turn this off. Okay. So anyway, sorry about this. I'm just texting Corey to try to get her to come up here and help me out. Okay. So anyway, let's just recap really quickly. Maybe I can give you a full recap here before Corey gets up here to help me out. But okay, so here's the situation. We got the press release out of Social Security a little over a week ago in regards to some of these changes on direct deposits and identity proofing, things like this. And this is going to be for all beneficiaries. Okay, this was about a little over a week ago. And then today, this afternoon, they came out with a new press release. It's no longer going into effect on Monday, the 31st, but rather it's going to be going into effect on April 14th, which is 2 weeks later, 2 weeks after that. 2 weeks later. And then Corey just like ran through the door.
It was an accident.
Yeah, 2 weeks later, and then it's going to be a little bit changed as far as who it applies to. So anyway, just if you're just jumping on right now, go back, watch the first like 10 minutes of this live stream, and I talked about it all there. I can jump onto the live stream too if you need me to. Otherwise, yeah, have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna have Corey help me turn off this here live stream. All right, thank you so much. Enjoy. I'll see you later.